So today I'm going to be showing you how I image transfer using images from magazines. So I'm going to be doing something slightly different where I'm not just using one image, I'm going to be using several images at the same time to create like an image transfer collage on the gel plate. So it would look something similar to this. So image transfer can be a tricky process, and using magazines are a really good way to build your confidence and experiment. So if you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, let me know how you've got on. If you've got any questions, as always, please drop those in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll also drop a link into my image transfer using laser images if you're interested in taking it to the next stage. And I'll also drop some links into my newsletter and waitlist if you're interested in my new online course, Pushing the Boundaries, that is due to launch in autumn 2025. So let's get printing. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how I use image transfer using images from magazines, but in a slightly different way where we are collaging the images on the gel plate. So something to kind of bear in mind is that magazines, when you're using magazine images, you're going to come and hit all kinds of copyright issues. So they are great to practice with, they are great to build confidence up for image transfer, but really when you are looking to exhibit or sell your work, you really need to be using your own images. But like I say, they have a place. They're really good for building confidence and practicing that technique. So magazines that work. I can only talk about magazines that work that I've got from the UK. So Vogue is a really good one. This is what I found is most consistent when speaking to people online and things as well. So maybe Vogue in other countries would work quite well as well. I've got National Geographic, again, very hit and miss. You can find that the actual magazine works, but then the lovely supplement that comes with it doesn't work. Country Living magazine, Elle Decoration, and I found that some images from travel brochures also work. But you don't tend to find many of those anymore because everybody's booking holidays online. So it is confusing because it's not image transfer, it's a resist technique. So really when you're looking at these magazines, you're looking for magazines that are going to resist the paint on the gel plate. You're not actually transferring an image at all. You're going to resist, you're looking for an image that's going to resist the paint. So when you're choosing your images to work with, you're looking for images that have got really high contrast. So you're looking for areas that are really dark against really pale. So you're looking for that contrasting tone. It doesn't have to be black and white, but you do need to have that contrast between light and dark for it to work. For my base layer, I'm going to use a mixture of the Opaque, Paynes Grey in the Peboe and the Rowney brands. I like to mix two brands of paint together. I just feel it gives me a smoother consistency and reduces texture in my magazine image transfers. So I've just ripped out a couple of sections from magazines that I think will possibly work, that have got some contrast there, and I'm applying a small amount of the Paynes Grey paint from both brands. Timing is crucial with image transfer, so I wouldn't recommend that you rip up lots of small pieces of collage. I would start with 3, maybe 4 maximum larger sections of collage to practice this technique first. So I'm just using my brayer to distribute that paint across the gel plate so it's nice and smooth and even. And you really just need a very, very thin layer of paint for image transfer to work. I'm working quickly to place the sections of magazine down on the gel plate while that thin layer of paint is wet. and I'm just giving them a rub to make good contact on the plate and peeling them straight off. You don't want to leave your images on there for more than 5 to 10 seconds, otherwise it's just going to lift the image straight back off the plate. So that middle section hasn't worked very well. There mustn't have been enough contrast within the image, so I'll have to go back and rectify that area. So as I pull back this section, I can see that it's left a big splodge, and that's caused by an air bubble. It's really hard with magazines because they stretch with the wetness of the paint, trapping air underneath. But you can see what I'm doing now is I'm going back, and where that paint is still a little bit wet, I'm just using the image to block over again. So I've let this completely dry now, and what I'm going to do now is add some more paint to that big dark section in the top right hand corner and try and do a second image transfer over the top. And this is what I really like about collaging with magazine images, because it provides you the opportunity to practice selecting images to begin with, but then if they don't work, you can just work into a section on your gel plate to try and rectify and solve the problem. So I'm now just placing that image down again onto the thin layer of wet paint and peeling it back and hoping that that will leave me with a much clearer image transfer. Yes, that's worked quite nicely. Now it's really important that you let this layer completely dry before adding your next layer of colour. And I left this to dry for a good five minutes to make sure it's nice and dry. And I am using a Liquitex green grey to apply a thin layer of acrylic paint across my plate. And you can see I am just removing the excess paint on a roll-off sheet next to me. You want enough paint that you're getting a nice coverage, but you can just see now, just starting to see that image transfer peeping through, and that's what you're looking for. While this paint is still nice and wet, you need to place down your paper. I'm just using a piece of cartridge paper out of a sketchbook. That's about 160 GSM. I'm giving it a good rub to make good contact with the gel plate and leaving it to sit for about 2 to 3 minutes before pulling back the print to reveal my final collage. And you can see it's pulling off really well because my gel plate is clear underneath, so all the image is pulling off onto my print. I'm just going to place a mount over the top to see how the overall kind of composition looks. And here is a close-up of some of the areas of the image transfer. And you can see those images have transferred quite successfully.